How's it going, people? Welcome to Geebra again. This time it's another educational video. This time it's going to be about HTML. So I use Dreamweaver for this, but you can use any kind of text editor you want. For example, Notepad on Windows, standard with Windows, or Text Wrangler here on Mac. It's free to download from the App Store. And you also have Notepad++, which is free to download from their webpage. I'll leave a link in the description below. So, when you start up Dreamweaver, you'll get quite a few options. So you can open something recent or some features, but you can also create a new file. For example, an HTML file, which we are going to go over in just a minute. You have Cold Fusion, some kind of scripting language. I think it's from Adobe. PHP, CSS, JavaScript, and XML. We're going over all of those three in future tutorials, but for now we're going to see what HTML has to offer. You just click it and it will open. So, for those who don't use a text editor that automatically generates all this, I'll go over it and you can just type it over. So first, we have the Doctype Html, blah 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 blah. I don't really know why all this is necessary. I even heard it isn't necessary anymore, but I'll just keep it there. Then Doctype, it just means what kind of document you're working with. So HTML, it means HTML5. There's also XHTML, but they are old, so don't use them. Just use HTML5. And then the next tag, which is quite important if working with an HTML page, is the HTML tag. This is also unnecessary, but you have to open with those triangular brackets, I think they're called, like that, and you have to end like this, with a slash. Just the same, but with a slash in front of it. And that just means you're working with something, you're with some HTML file. In here, we have the head, which is inside the HTML tag. The head also has to be closed, and it means everything the user cannot see. If you're going on a web page, you won't see anything of this except for the title, but it won't be in your page directly. For example, we have Google over here. So what is the title over here? It's this. It's what is shown in your tab. Alright, so we also have a meta tag here. This is also not necessary, but it's quite handy. It just means you put in Unicode characters, I guess. I never really used it. I just leave it there if Dreamweaver says it has to be there. But that's all the head really has to do right now. Later on it will contain scripts, CSS files, you name it. Then, probably the most interesting tag is the body tag. This is everything that is shown to the user. So, again, with Google, it's all inside this little box. So the Google logo, the plus, the Gmail, the images. Normally it would say images, but I'm from Belgium, so yeah, I speak Dutch. First we're going to change the title, of course, I almost forgot. First steps of HTML, I'm going to call it. And now, to show you what you can do with a body tag, I'm going to create some text in it. So open the tag, press P, and then just close the tag. This means a paragraph. In this, you should only use text. You can use images and stuff, but it's meant for text only. And then we're immediately going to close it. In Dreamweaver, you just have to open it and just press a slash, and it will automatically create it. In some text editors it doesn't do it like that, but you can just type it. I prefer typing it, but Dreamweaver thinks I'm lazy. So in this, we're going to type hello world, just like with the Visual Basic tutorial. And now press Command S or Control S on Windows to save it, or just go to File and Save. Now I'm going to save it on my desktop, and I'll say it is going to be called index.html. .html is important because your browser needs to know with what kind of file you're working, and index, if you're on a web server, it'll be always the first page to load. So again, Google. This page is actually the index page of Google. So index.html, and just save it. Oh, I already made one, so I'm going to replace that. And now just go to preview/debug in browser and open up your favorite browser. Mine is Google Chrome, so it'll say a weird URL in here, but it's just going to your file, and look at that. First steps of HTML and hello world. Now we can create anything we want, and it will be under the P, the first P tag, because it's a block. It'll always cover up the entire width of the screen, and thus everything that comes after it must go below it. It's so with a couple of tags, with a couple of tags it isn't. It's complex sometimes, but you learn while you're doing it. So lorem ipsum dolor sit amed. Just save it again, and you can press this again, or you just reload it over here. Doesn't really matter. So you see, there's also a little white space. But what if you want to add a new line to say hello world? But you don't want to create a new p tag because it creates a little space between. Well, there's a little solution to that. You go over there, inside the p tag, and you type BR, and you close it. Sometimes it will put in a slash and a space, but this isn't required as far as I know. But if your text editor does so, just leave it. It doesn't hurt. And then you put in a space, or you don't. Doesn't really matter for the browser. It's just for readability. And you can say something like, hello, this is the very first tutorial, with a little smiley face. Then we go back and we reload the page. So as you can see, it is inside the block and there's no little margin between, which is very handy. And yeah, that's all I had for this very first video. So please leave a like if you learned something from it, and yeah, subscribe for more educational videos. Bye!